multiple months. And I don't know about you, but when I woke up this morning, I was really stoked that this is happening today. Now, how many of you have checked out the Moving Planet website this morning at all? A few, maybe. You guys, there's photos that are being posted on there from all over the world. There's over 2,000 events happening today in over 175 countries around the planet, all to move us beyond fossil fuels. It's an incredible international movement. Woo! And here in Boise, we're going to be doing our part to make sure that our voices are heard as well. So it's really incredible. Check it out. There's people doing bike rallies, doing parades, massive swim contests, anything in fossil fuel-free, forms of transportation and forms of entertainment people are doing today to celebrate that carbon-free future that we want. So today we're going to be doing our bike rally, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, and the organization that's putting this on is 350.org. They're the one that's coordinating this worldwide International Day of Action. And 350.org is an organization that raises awareness about the climate crisis, and tries to take action on the climate crisis by bringing attention to one really important number, 350. So 350 ppm is a safe upper limit of carbon dioxide concentration in our atmosphere that has been indicated by climate scientists. We are currently at 392. So we are past that limit, and it is going up about 2 ppm every year, right? So we really need to bring that number back down to 350, where we know it's safe, where we know we can have a stable planet, the Earth that we've known and loved and grown upon throughout human civilization, and really bring it back down to that number so we can ensure a safe future for future generations. Today's theme, moving beyond fossil fuels, really gets to the heart of the climate issue and of climate solutions. The more that we are burning fossil fuels, the more carbon dioxide we're putting into the atmosphere, and the more we're pushing that number, 392, up, and up, when our goal is to bring it back down. Okay, so, basically our goal today is to be really promoting moving beyond fossil fuels, stop, emitting that carbon dioxide, and bring it back down to a safe level. It's really simple. And today we're going to show Idaho decision makers that we know what the problem is, we know what the solutions are, and we want to see those solutions implemented now. Yeah. So who am I and who do I work for? My name is Lisa Young. I work for the Snake River Alliance. We are Idaho's nuclear watchdog and clean energy advocate. We've been doing nonprofit work in the state for the last 32 years, protecting our environment, our economy, and our way of life. We have an entire program devoted to promoting renewable energy and energy efficiency. This is the work that we do day in and day out at my organization to try to move Idaho towards a clean energy future. And the fact is that Idaho gets nearly 50% of its energy from coal. When you flip on that switch at home, turn on your light, about 50% of that electricity is coming from coal being combusted hundreds of miles away in coal plants outside of the state. And that electricity is being transported in for you to use. Okay? And even scarier, Idaho utilities have no plan to phase out that coal use. Okay? You'd think in light of all these issues that we're dealing with right now, they would at least have a plan to start phasing it out. They plan out their resource portfolios 20, 30 years into the future. And right now, there is no indication that they are going to stop burning coal. And they say that straight out. Okay? They are blindly addicted to coal, as evidenced by their insane behavior. They're using 19th century technology to meet our 21st century needs. They're investing all this money, dumping all this money into updating these aging coal plants to make sure that they're up with, environmental standards. These coal plants that are 40, 50, 60 years old, they're trying to keep them alive and trying to use that old, ugly technology. And even in the face of inevitable federal carbon taxes or prices on carbon that are inevitable at the federal level at some point, even in the face of the environmental and public health impacts of mining and burning coal in and of itself, let alone the impacts that has on the climate issue in and of itself, all these things you would think would help our utilities move in the right direction, and they're not budging. So it's time to move Idaho's utilities beyond coal. And energy efficiency is the #1 remedy. If we use less energy and we use energy more wisely, we're going to be better able to reduce our reliance on coal. If the utilities invested more of their money and efforts towards beefing up their efficiency programs, we could move forward with a reasonable plan to phase out coal. But like individuals with addictions, they need a support system. And that can be state and local policymakers, that can be utility regulators, and that can be energy consumers like you and me. So the State House right behind me right here, contains our leaders in the state of Idaho, the governor, the legislature, and they created a plan 5 years ago called the Idaho Energy Plan. And they spent $300,000 worth of our tax dollars putting together this beautifully crafted plan with excellent recommendations for how we can move forward to a clean energy future. Yet most of the recommendations in that plan lie dormant. They have not even used them after all that work and effort and all those, excellent crafted ideas. So, what we're really asking for on a continuous basis is to use the plan that you actually created, right? And you'll see that in the chants that we have today. But they're not going to budge. So we've got the PUC, the Public Utilities Commission, who regulates Idaho's utilities. And they have the ability to tell utilities to justify, their continued reliance on these aging coal plants and these aging technologies. And they haven't done so. They have the ability to set efficiency targets, to continue to push and expand efficiency programs at utility level, and they haven't done so. Now, here in Boise City, there's a lot to brag about. We've done a lot of really good work at the city level to, push, reducing our carbon footprint and creating a more sustainable community. But there's still a lot more that can be done. And the city of Boise has the Climate Protection Advisory Committee that many of you haven't even heard of. But they have crafted a whole host of recommendations for the city to implement to move us towards a net zero situation. And again, like the state energy plan, many of those recommendations lie dormant. And it's time for the mayor and for the city council to really step up and push the standards and get those things through. So really, with this system, with all of us working together, with us, with the regulators, with the policymakers, with the utilities themselves, we can actually move forward and make this happen, right? But it's going to take that effort, and it's going to take us making sure that we pressure those entities to do that. So at the Snake River Alliance, we do this work every day with our members, trying to push for this clean energy future. And we really want you to join the movement. If you support our work, please get involved. And if you want to make a contribution that counts, become a member of the Snake River Alliance for as little as $15. Member contributions make up 40% of our budget, which allows us to have the staff and resources to put on awesome events like this one. How awesome is this? And to continue to be a strong voice for clean energy and to moving past coal in this state. So thank you so much for coming and joining in solidarity with people all over the world to send our message to government and community leaders and citizens. Idaho is just one piece of this global puzzle, but our local movement aids the international movement. And with the urgency of the international crisis, it's time to make local demands. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. Thank you. Okay, and now we've got Eric Schuler, the Vice President of the Student Body at Boise State University. Please help me welcome Eric.
Thank you for that, Lisa. So, before I get started, I just wanted to tell you a little bit more about myself, because this is a really political issue, and I'm not sure why it is. But, so, about me, I'm a self-pronounced libertarian, and I'm an economics major, and I confess that when I do have to drive my car, it proudly bears the sticker of Ron Paul. So basically what I'm telling you is that I'm probably the last person you would expect to be speaking at an event like this. But I'm an advocate for clean energy solutions just like the rest of you. And the reason for that is that this shouldn't be a political issue. We think of it today as this polarizing thing in politics. We're all familiar with the narratives. You have the liberals who are branded as the EPA-loving hippies who want to raise energy prices to hurt the already struggling economy and want to raise energy prices and probably not shower. Those are the two alternatives. But then you have the conservatives, and we brand them as the oblivious SUV driving people who just, they don't care about any of this. They don't know the energy crisis we're facing, and they practice anything but conservation, ironically. But and environmentalism for them is just one more thing that the government can try and get involved in their lives. And these are the narratives that we're faced with. But they're false. The truth is that on this issue there's a lot more common ground than we imagine. For instance, no real scientist believes that the climate isn't changing. I mean, there are only so many different ways you can interpret an